The answer for the first question is again Thursday. It's Thursday because today is Wednesday. That tomorrow will be Thursday. Yesterday was Tuesday. What's next to today? It's Thursday. Alright. Now we proceed to the second question. How many dates is or are there in odd numbers? Well, in solving this, in a month, the maximum number in a month that we have February, which only have 29 days or 28 days, but some months are in 31 dates, right? There are 31 days in some of the months. That, if you are asked at most how many dates is or are there in odd numbers within 1 month, so we choose the months with the most number of days, which is 31. With that, with 31, we divide it by 2. Why do we divide it by 2? Because there are only two type of numbers, odd and even. So 31 divided by 2, that's equal to 15 with a remainder of 1. That, we know,
15.
since 31 is an odd number, since 31 is an odd
And
number, so
and
that's
1.
15
1.
plus 1, so it's equal to 16. That there are 16 odd numbers within a month. That's the most number of days in odd numbers within a month. Alright? We proceed to the third question. Okay. We have here the third number. As it says, move one match to make the equation below correct. And we write down the complete equation in the answer sheet. So, we move a match. After moving that match, it should be equal to the correct result. And we need to write down the answer is the written down complete equation. Okay? That's for number 3. What do you think is the answer for number 3?
Yes.
Go for number 3.
Ba về quê à? Về là số đi cho số đi à? Có chị cứ đi không?
So for number 3, it looks like 4 plus 9 is equal to 7. So, the result is wrong. So what do? We remove this and put it where? Do we just remove it? But it says move one match, meaning move, not remove. So it would look like 4 plus, or it's like this. 4 plus, if we move that line, it would look like this. And it's equal to 7. Right? So that's it for number 3, guys. So this is the complete written equation. So the answer for number 3 should be written like this. 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. You follow the instruction because the question is saying write down the complete equation in the answer sheet. So you write this equation, not just put an X or what. You follow the instruction, alright? Now, according to the pattern shown below, what is the number in the blank? So this is a pattern question. Who is annotating? For number 4, what is the pattern? It's increasing by 3, right? From 14, it becomes 17. Then it becomes 20, 23, 26, then 29. Meaning, it's increasing by 3. Correct? For number 5, how do we get the 100th group? We're only given unto the 4th group. But we can observe from the 4 groups as what is the number in the group, or for example, if it's group 1, there's only 1 symbol. For the group 2, there's only 2 symbols. For group 3, there are 3. For group 4, there are 4. That, in group 100, or the 100th group, there'll be 100. Alright? That's the answer for number 5. For number 6, now some students queue in a row. If there are 6 students in front of Amy and 7 students behind Amy, how many students is or are there? This is simple addition, no? When we say it's a row, they are arranged horizontally. And if there are 6 students in front of Amy, so if this is Amy, there are 6 students in front of her, and 7 students behind her. So how many students is are there? It's a 6 plus Amy, so 1 plus 7, and the answer is 14. Again, it's simple addition. 6 up front plus Amy and plus the 7 students behind her, that's equal to 15. Number 7, we find the value of these numbers. So this is simple pairing, no? Or simple grouping. We make our numbers very much whole. If you have 1 and 9, we can pair them. That's 1 plus 9. Then we can also have 6 and 4. 6 plus 4. So both are equal to 10, correct? Now we also have the 1 plus 2 plus 3. So that's equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3. That's equal to 6. Making, how much do we have with number 7? 10 plus 10 plus 6. Oh, there's another 2 here. So plus 2. That's equal to 28. So what we did some regrouping and pairing to get 28 faster. Or you can directly add it. 1 plus 9, 10 plus 1, 11 plus 2, 12 plus 30 plus 11 plus 2, 13 plus 3, 16 plus 4, and so on. But it's better to do it by pairing and grouping. Why? So that you will not miscalculate the equation. Alright? As we find the value of 18 minus 8 plus 11. First thing to do is do the addition part. Why do we do the addition part? Or, no. We can do the subtraction part first. So that we will not have a hard time. Because if you were to add 8 plus 11, that's equal to 19. You will have a hard time subtracting 19 from 18. So we prioritize subtracting first. Because 18 minus 8 is just 10. And it's easier to add it to 11. That you will get 21. Correct? Okay. That's it for number 8, guys. The answer is 21. Again, so for number 9, we can see repeating values of 2. No? These repeating values of 2, there are 2 operations used. Subtraction and addition. So what do we do? It's easier to add values that are like any values, but it's complicated to subtract a smaller, to subtract a bigger value from a smaller value. So what do? We minimize the equation. So we answer first the 2 minus 2, this is 0. 2 minus 2, this is 0. So this is 0 plus 0 plus 2 minus 2, 0 plus, or here, plus 2 minus 2, 0. And there's an n plus 2. The plus 2 goes down there. That the only answer for number 9 is just 2. Because adding zeros is equal to 0 plus 2, then it's equal to 2. That's it for number 9. For number 10, we have to find the value of 11 minus 50 plus 59. Again, 11 minus 50 plus 59. What do we do first? Again, it complicates the equation if we subtract a bigger value from a small value. Imagine if you were to add 50 plus 59 first, then subtract it from 11. That will complicate the equation. What do we do? We combine the positive values here. So when you say positive, all with the plus symbol. So we have 11. In here, we have 11 plus 59. And that is equal to 70. From 70, it's easier to subtract the negative 50 or minus 50. Then it's equal to 20. That, for number 10, the correct answer is 20. Again, it's 20. Alright, we proceed to the next number. For number 11. For number 11, what is the number that should be filled in the blank if the equation below is correct? So we have to fill in this, no, to make it correct. So we have to add something to 14. So 14 plus a missing value, that would be equal to 42. So what do we do to complete 42? We do backward solution, where for us to know how much do we need to add to 14 to make it 42, we just simply do 42 minus 14. Alright, and that is equal to 28. Of course, we have to check if 28 is the correct answer. What do? We substitute or fill in our equation. Will it be equal to 42 really? If we use 28, so 14 plus 28. 4 plus 8 is 12. 1 plus 1, 2. Plus 2, 4. So it's 42. Alright? That's for number 11. For number 13, Amy has 23 apples and John has 7 apples. How many apples does John have to ask Amy to give him so that John has 2 more apples than Amy? Again, Amy has 23 apples and John has 7 apples. Now, how many apples does John have to ask Amy to give him so that John has 2 more apples than Amy? Well, we start this item by getting the difference between the number of apples Amy got, then the number of apples John got or John have, and also the number of apples Amy gave to John. Okay, so that's 23 apples from Amy minus 9, and that's 14. Now, if John got 7 and John will get 9, that's equal to 16. Right? So we got 9 by adding the number of apple John have plus the 2 apples that John must have so that Jan has two more apples than Amy. Alright, that's why we got 16, no? So, the final answer is 9. John must ask
Teacher,
9
finish.
more apples. John must ask Amy 9 more apples. The answer
Teacher, I'm finished.
is 9. What about number 14? For number 14, fill the lines with a plus or a minus symbol to make the equation below correct. And we write down the complete equation. Again, another item that the final answer should be written completely. Like you have to copy the equation and your correct arrangement of the symbol plus or minus. Alright? You can see on screen that the equation is 0, meaning we have to minimize or make sure that the operations positions will give or generate the smallest possible values because the result of this equation on screen is 0. So what do? We minimize. But first, we start by assuming that all values is a plus, no? 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 9. Definitely, this is not equal to 0, but we try. 1 plus 3 is 4 plus 5, 9. Ag- From this point forward, this is only 9. Right? That's only 9. So what do? We have 9 here already. So we change our symbol to 9 minus 9, and that's equal to 0. Right? So again, from this point to this point, as we added the numbers, we assume that all are positive. This is only equal to 9. So to make it 0, we subtract 9. That the arrangement or the correct answer, if you were to put your final answer for number 14, you are to write 1 plus 3 plus 5 minus 9 is equal to 0. This is how you will have to input your answer in number 14. Is that clear? Follow the instruction. Follow what's written on the question. Alright, that's it for number 14, guys. Now, we do number 15. So 1 plus 3, this is 4. 5 plus 9, 14. Plus 11, 25. We have to subtract something that will make it to 19, no? Okay. We try again until we'll land to 19. So 1 plus 3 minus 5 plus 9 plus 11 is equal to how much? This is 4. Let's check the chat box. What's your answer, guys? So someone chatted, it's Dan Gabriel Cacho. Yeah, it should be like this. That we have to get minus 5 away from the equation to make it 19. So it's 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 9 plus 11, and it's equal to 19. Alright? Okay. So this is the final answer for number 15. The final answer for number 15 should be written in a complete equation, diba? Not just filling in the blank. So it's 1 plus 3 minus 5 plus 9 plus 1. And that's equal to 19. Alright? For number 15. Now we proceed. Oh, now what is the smallest two-digit number? This is a very simple question. The answer is just 10. So the answer for number 16 is 10. Alright? Because 10 is the smallest digit number. From 1 to 9, the first two digit that will come up from 1 to 9, it's 10. After 9, it's 10. That's for number 16. No? From 1 to 9, the next number is, the first two-digit number is 10. That's for number 16. Alright. No need to solve number 16. All we have to do is know our numbers. Now we proceed to number 17. We determine the result of this equation. No?
Teacher, you are muted again.
Ah, sorry. Thank you. So for number 17, you can observe that these are even numbers, no? These are all even numbers. 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 up to 20. These are increasing numbers of 2's from 2 to 20. You can observe that all these numbers are even. And when we add or when we get the sum of even numbers, it will always be equal to even. That the answer is even. You can check your equation. If you have enough time, you can check and add 2 plus 4, 6, plus 6, 12, plus 8, 20, plus 10, 30, plus 12, 32, plus 14, 46. So you can see all are even numbers also upon adding. No? 46 plus 16, that's around 60, that's 58.
You have a mistake.
58 plus 18,
30 plus 12 equals
42. Sorry, 42. Plus 14, 56. 56 plus 16, that's 72. 72 plus 18, 80 plus 20, 100. See,
The answer,
all the sum.
the question is determine, so why you like plus its own?
So,
They just require to like determine the result.
I know that you are only to determine the result, but if the students doesn't know the concept or will forget will forget that adding even numbers is equal to even, they can check their answer. It's just a suggestion to double check again. I said before getting the sum of these numbers that if they have extra time, they can check their answer if it's correct by solving the equation. It's only for checking if they have extra time. All right. Let's proceed to number 18. For number 18, we get the sum of 5 consecutive numbers is 60. What is the smallest number? So, we get the consecutive numbers, 5 consecutive numbers, that when we add it to 6, when you add it up, it's equal to 60. Alright? So what do? We get the average. So how do we get the average? When we divide it by 5 numbers,
English. Wala man na add or even, yan hanggang, di ba?
so this is 12. So you're talking about na the number should be consecutive, like from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like that. Let's check.
Yes, correct.
So 10 plus 11 is 21. 21 plus 12, 33. 33 plus 13, 46. Plus 14, it's 60. So this is the sum of the 5 consecutive numbers and what is the smallest number. Okay. So in number 18, we have to take note. So thank you for pointing it out na it's not even or odd numbers, no? It should be consecutive, like just increasing by 1. So among these 5 consecutive numbers, 10 to 14, certainly it's 10 is the smallest number or smallest value among the 5 numbers. All right, now we proceed. How many squares is or are there in the figure below? So this is simple counting, guys. When we say it's a square, 4-sided with equal side length. So 1, 2, 3,
1,
4,
2,
5.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, but remember, this is also a square, right? And this is also a square, correct? That,
And square.
how many squares can we see then? So there's 10, no? One to 8, the 1 by 1 square is equal to 8 pieces. That the 2 by 2 squares is equal to 2 pieces, making there's a total of 10 squares in this figure. So for number 19, the answer is 10. We proceed to the next number. For number 20, we are asked of at least how many cubes is or are there in the figure below. At least how many cubes is or are there in the figure below. This is a square. And this is a cube. A cube got 6 faces. It's in a 3D shape, no? So we count. How many cubes can we see on the figure? We can count it by row. In first row, second row, third row. So in the first row, you can see 1 cube. Row 1, you can see 1 cube. In row 2, how many can you see? 1, 2, 3, 4. In row 3, how many can you see? there's 3, no? So you just add it up, 1 plus 4 plus 3, that's equal to 8. So sometimes it's important to label and take note, like you list down the number, in counting, you list down so that you will not miscalculate or um, miss a detail in counting. So that's why you can write, for row 1, I can see 1. For row 2, I can see 4. For row 3, I can see 3 cubes. Then all you have to do is to count instead of counting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You might miss a cube or miscalculate or miscount. Alright? That's just a suggestion. Alright. How many sides is or are in the polygon below? So we can see an arrow. This is a polygon. When we say a polygon, a shape with multiple number of sides, no? And this one, number 21, we can count that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, by simple counting, by putting a mark in every side, to not miscalculate or overcount, for number 21, we know that the answer is 7. So, what is a side, no? You know that already. For example, if you're asked, how many sides are there in a triangle? You count 1, 2, 3. So, in this figure in number 21, just count the number of sides. There are 7. Alright? Easy as that. Number 22, according to the pattern shown below, what is the figure in the space provided? So this is the pattern, and we are looking for the missing shape. But as we observe the pattern, it is actually in repeating form, no? Triangle, square, circle, triangle, square, circle. So this is triangle, square, circle, triangle, square, circle. So this is triangle, square, circle. That's the first term or first shape in the pattern is missing, which is a triangle. So you write, what is the figure in the shape in the space provided? It's a triangle. This is the correct answer for number 22. Okay. For number 23, we are asked of how many interior angles is or are there in the polygon below. So before we answer this, let's know what is an interior angle. If this is a triangle, if you are asked of how many interior angles are there in a triangle, the interior angles are the angles inside the shape, no? Interior meaning inside. So in a triangle, there is 1, 2, 3. This, and this. So in a triangle, there are 3. So in number 23, we just have to count, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So for number 23, since it is also a 7-sided polygon, it's equal to 7 interior angles. Same in the triangle, it's a 3-sided that we know there are 3 interior angles. Okay, the number of sides is equal to the number of interior angles. That in number 23.
Coach, your voice is so low.
Is it? My microphone is near me already. Like it's right near
I think it's low.
Okay, there. What about now? Still low?
Ibadah.
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay. So, in number 23, the number of sides is equal to the number of interior angles, okay? Take note on that, guys, so that you will be familiar. All right. Just like the triangle, it's three-sided, making it there are three interior angles also. Okay, that's it for number 23. Now we proceed to number 24. For number 24, we are asked of according to the pattern shown below, what is the figure in the space provided? The pattern is every 4 in a group, no? As in 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it repeats. 1, 2, 3, 4. It repeats. So meaning, what is the missing figure? It's a hollow circle, not a shaded one. So this is the correct answer for number 24. Alright? Easy as that. That pattern is every 4 in a group. Yes?
Excuse me, is it okay if I just spelled it out?
I think the correct answer for number 24 and the previous and the previous questions example number 22. So in number 22, so this is the figure in number 22, right? We are asked of what is the missing. Wait, let me grab it again. For number 22, there's a missing figure. It is safe to just draw the answer. Because for number 24, for 24, or you to write unshaded circle, circle with no color, circle with no shade. That's complicated, no? In number 24, it's asking, according to the pattern shown below, what is the figure in the space provided? Simple as drawing what is missing is already correct. Same with number 22. Are you to put a narrow triangle, a triangle with no shade, etc. So better just write or draw the shape of the triangle in number 22 and 24. So they are 22 and 24 have similar question, no? So that's it. Just draw the figure instead of spelling out of what.
Your voice is too soft. Song.
Okay, that's for number 24 and 22. Do not spell the shape, but instead, unless it will like ask, like the question is really asking to write the spelling of the figure or the missing shape. But in number 24 and 22, it's only asking for what is missing in the pattern. So you complete the pattern by drawing it, no? For number 22 and 24. So if you were to encounter questions like this, better to just draw the missing figure.
The 26 number, 26th item, the second question for combinatorics. For number 26, we are asked of according to the following numbers, how many odd numbers is or are there? We know how to identify odd and even, right? We check the ones value, the first digit from the right. The odd numbers are 29. 35 is an odd number. 31 is an odd number. 22 is not an odd number. 20 is also even. 40 is also even. And this is odd. We just count the number of checks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know now. So here's the important thing, no? We can see the importance of putting marks and labels. We can easily identify and not miscalculate or miscount anything that we know in number 26, and we are sure there are 4 odd numbers in number 26. Number 27, according to the pattern or according to the following numbers, how many even numbers is or are there? So the same thing that we did for number 26, we put marks, guys. For number 2, this is even. Since we're looking for even numbers, we put a check. So 5 is an odd, 8 is an even, 10 is an even, 11 is odd, 14 is even, 17 is odd, and 19 is odd. Counting the checks, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That we know there are 5 even numbers for number 27. Easy, no? Then for number 28, we are asked of what is the largest 3-digit number by
Excuse me, teacher. They're spamming the chat with unnecessary thing.
Okay, guys, please stop spamming. Keep your microphones muted and no annotating. Just a reminder. So to continue, what is the largest 3-digit number by choosing 3 numbers from 4, 2, and 6. Each number can only be used once. So when we say each number can only be used once, no repetition is allowed, right? Okay, it's only 6, 4, and 2. So we write it in decreasing order that we get the correct answer, 6, 4, and 2.
They are spamming the chat with unnecessary things again.
Okay, now we proceed to number 29. Amy had 9 apples. Her mother then gave Betty 4 apples and Betty gave Amy 3 apples. Finally, how many apples did Amy have? So we just have to take note on the transactions or all the activities happened in this item. Amy had 9 apples. Her mother then gave Betty
spamming again. Yeah, they're spamming again the 170. Spamming.
Let them spam the chat box, guys. Focus on the screen.
Oh.
Amy had 9 apples. Her mother. So Amy had 9. Her mother then gave Betty 4 apples. So Betty plus 4. And Betty minus 3 and gave it to Amy. So this is plus 3. Finally, how many apples did Amy have? So 9 plus 3 only, which is equal to 12. Because Amy already had 9, her mother gave Betty 4, but Betty gave the 3 to Amy. That the final answer for number 29 is 12. Okay, down to our last number, but please stay a little bit so that we can discuss few more concepts and topics related to the questions we have for the 30-item mock review. For number 30, for a 2-digit number, if 2 digits are the same, we call it an excellent number. Again, for a 2-digit number, if 2 digits are the same, we call it an excellent number. So how many excellent numbers are there? So an example of an excellent number, that's what is 30, item number 30 trying to say, it's an excellent number if the 2 digits are the same are, for example, 11, 22, and so on. And we're only looking for 2-digit number. So the highest 2-digit number is 99. How many 1-digit numbers are there? There's only 1 to 9. There are 9 digits, right? So in repeating form, that's 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, and so on until 99. That there are only 9 sets of excellent numbers, of 9 excellent 2-digit numbers. For number 30, the answer is 9.
Done.
All right. So please, so let's wait. Okay. We're done with the 30 questions, no? But before I dismiss you, I want to point out some concepts or topics. So, because you'll be taking the final exam or the competition, we can encounter a few questions talking about odd and talking about even. When we see odd numbers, these numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So you check if the digit, its place value, the one's place value is 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, and that's certainly an odd number. For example, you have 43. Yes, 4 is an even number, but the only number or digit that you have to check is the one in the place value. The one's place value. So you focus on 3. It's in the one's place value and it's an odd number. So this is an odd number. So don't get confused, guys. Just focus on the one's digit. Meaning, or the one's place value. Here only. If you are given 34, though 3 is an odd number, again, you only have to focus on the one's place value. That 4 is not in our list of odd numbers, making it be part of the even numbers. So the even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, and 0 included. So 34 is an even number, alright? Please take note on this, guys. Now we proceed to one more topic, I guess. What about in patterns, no? Usually, patterns are... Wait, why is my screen not working? So patterns would go like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All you have to do is observe the difference from the previous term to the next term, 4. So you can see that it's consistent, that it's 2, 2, and 2. It's this common difference. That if it's consistent, then you are certain that the pattern is increasing by 2. Alright? Next, what if it's in a different form, like 15, 12, 9, 6? Then we are certain that it's decreasing this time. So when we say increasing, when we say increasing, can you stop annotating, please? So, again, when we say increasing, the values are going up. When we say decreasing, the values are going down. Alright? Increasing, going up, decreasing, going down. So remember those terms. It might be useful. Those terms might be useful. Okay. And if you are to encounter questions like looking for the largest number, then you are given random values like 7, 6, 2 or 7, 6, 9. Then you are looking for the greatest number. All you have to do is to write down them in decreasing order. If you're looking for largest, list down in decreasing form. Like, if it's in decreasing form, it's 9, 7, 6. But if we're looking for the smallest, if we're looking down for the smallest, write it in increasing form. What should be 6, 7, 9. Alright? 6, 7, 9. You can see you will be certain with that you will not miss a number that might be actually smaller or bigger than the other values. All right. What other concepts do we have here? Oh, let me emphasize when we are to choose which number is the smallest or biggest. Like if you're given 8,001, 8,022, or 8,301, 8,012, or 806. So you have to check the number of digits first. So for example, okay, I'll stop discussing na lang.
Na lang.
Pick him out.
Okay, we continue. So if we are to check the greatest or the smallest value within the group of numbers, first thing that we should do is count the number of digits. So here there are 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. So we are certain that this is the smallest. Now, if we are to identify the biggest number, we check which values have a greater second digit, the second digit to the leftmost part, no? You can see that all are in 8,000s already. So we check the next place value, which is the hundreds place. So this is the greatest value, no? Because all are in zeros already, making this the greatest value among the group. Okay. Do you want me to discuss more topics and more tips to get the correct answer, or you will just keep on drawing on my screen? Let me emphasize about interior angles, guys. To get the interior angles, the number of interior angles, what you have to do is count the number of sides, because the number of sides is equal to the number of interior angles. They are equal in number. So for example, if you are asked of how many interior angles does a rectangle have, there are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright? Because a rectangle has 4 sides also. 4 sides, 4 interior angles. Alright? Remember that? Okay. Next, if you are to encounter...
I can't understand because of the annotations.
Okay. So if you are asked to count the number of cubes or any type of figure similar to this one, and if you are asked to count, no, all you have to do is take note. Like first row, second row, third row. Then for the first row, it got some 3 cubes. For the second row, it got some 4 cubes. For the third row, I got only 1. Then all you have to do is add 1 plus 4 plus 3. That's equal to 8. Easy as that. no miscalculation and no miscounting will happen. If you're to count squares, remember what's a square. It's a square if it's four-sided and the sides are equal. So when you say 1 by 1 square, this is a 1 by 1 square. And in this figure, there are 8 pieces, no? And for example, whereas of another, what are the other squares that you can see aside from a 1 by 1 square? You can see a 2 by 2, which is 2 by 2, or 4 squares, 4 small squares in 1 big square. And you can see 2 of that, which is this and that. So that's 2 more pieces. So to count the total number of squares in this figure, there's a total of 10. No? Alright. What are the concepts that we might want to learn? Oh, the minimizing and maximizing numbers. So, just like number 14. Usually people would do trial and error for this one, but there's like a faster way to do it. You observe and focus on the result. This is 0, so we have to minimize our result. So what do we do there? Since it's 0, if you are to only use plus or minus, then we assume first that everything is at plus. And if you were to add it, that's 4 plus 5, 9 plus 9. It's equal to 18. And we are to get a 0. So we divide 18. We can also divide 18 by 2. So that if you were to get 9, all you have to do is subtract 9 also. Then you'll have 0. So at this point, 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus 5, it's 9. And then you have to subtract 9 to make it equal to 0. Okay? Just like that. In items where some of the values are missing and the result is given, so, for example, 18 minus blank is equal to 7. What do we do, guys? We can use 7 to get the missing value by just adding, by just also subtracting, because 18 minus 7, or 18 minus the result, is equal to 9. I mean, to 11, sorry. It's equal to 11. So, if we get 11, just check our answer if it's correct. If we were to put 11, substitute it, so it will be 18 minus 11 and equal to 7. We add 11 plus 7, then certainly equal to 18. So, the technique is the result plus the smaller number should be equal to the bigger number 18. Again, to double check, to correctly check our answer, smaller number should be equal, when we add it to the difference or result, it should be equal to the bigger number. Alright? Okay. It's the same way when something is missing, like 15 plus blank is equal to 19. How to get the missing value? We know that 15 is incomplete. So to make it equal to 19, we find the missing value. Just do 19 minus 15 and you'll get 4. To double check, substitute it. 15 plus 4. Is it equal to 19? Yes, it's equal to 19. There, you are certain and sure that your answer is correct. Alright, that's it from my end. I have discussed few I have re-emphasized and highlighted some maybe complicated topics. And I have, what else? I have rediscussed some topics that might be challenging. I have cleared up some topics and concepts, so I think that's good for you guys. Good luck in the upcoming HKimo finals. Go get the gold, guys. So see you around. Have a nice day ahead. Thanks for listening. Oh, let's take a picture first.
Yay!
Okay, turn on your camera, everyone.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, let me take a picture. Just stay still and smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's have another one because this is 3 pages. Another one. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Oh, I see familiar faces here. Some of my students are here. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Alright, I hope you learned something today. And good luck in your HKimo finals. Bye!
Bye. Teacher. Bye. Bye. Super teacher. I mean, please.